Okay, good morning everyone. My name is María, Leonor, Alava, and today I am going to present to you ways that college students cheat in their class. But first, first I want you to imagine this. You walk into a classroom full of students, and each student has a secret weapon in their sleeve, in their phone, in the cloud. And academic dishonesty isn't just like taking an occasional glance at your neighbor's paper anymore. It has gotten a bigger issue to the point where even it's getting harder to catch. As a matter of fact, what I just told you was a hook made from ChatGPT. So as you can tell, it is getting easier to even include artificial intelligence, unauthorized artificial intelligence into everyday things. However, it's not plagiarism because I did cite it. So first, let's talk about academic dishonesty. Let's talk about the 4 types: cheating, plagiarism, fabrication, and sabotage. Cheating is when you, again, use unauthorized materials, sources, or help. Plagiarism is when you use another person's words or work or just sources without proper citation or without giving them the credit. Fabrication is making up or altering data or academic data also. So for example, if you have a physics project, I don't know, and you forget to measure something and you make that measurement up, that is fabrication. And it is a type of academic dishonesty. And finally, sabotage, which is when you interfere with someone else's work in order to get them to fail. So first, let's talk about, again, cheating. And the cheating that you have enabled you. That can either be writing on your hand, or even it's gotten creative, like you can even fit information in your fingernail. And while researching, I also found out some creative ways that people cheat. For example, girls, they would put the information in their thigh or up their skirt. Therefore, when teachers, if they said something, they would be disregarded as creepy or, so it was kind of smart, you can tell. But again, don't do it. And also you can have writings in pen. So that's the first type where you have some sort of aid. The other one is the one I mentioned, taking an occasional glance at your neighbor's paper in order to get the information from them. Or whispering, making some sort of code. And I don't know why the image didn't charge, but the other type is when you use the internet or artificial intelligence, or here actually was a picture of a smart watch. I don't know if your teachers have said this, but at least in my case, they tell you to put your hair back and to show your wrist. This is to ensure that you don't have headphones or smartwatches because it's the most common way that people cheat in university. So let's talk about a real life example that happened here in USFQ. As a matter of fact, in my class at the beginning of the semester of molecular biology. The way that these people cheated is that a person took an exam inside of the classroom, and there was another person with their same account outside of the classroom, and the person outside had access to internet, to notes, to ChatGPT, and they were able to fill the test and submit it, How they found out is that there's this thing called an IP address. An IP address is the unique identifying number assigned to every device connected to the internet. So the teacher, when she left the classroom to go to the bathroom while the students were taking the exam, she realized that a student that was not hers was doing the exam outside. And then what they did is that at the end of the exam, they checked the IP address of every test and given during it was the first exam of molecular biology, and they realized that out of my class of 60 people, 30 people had done this. And those 30 people, of course, had to fail the class. And this is how they found out, luckily. And this is what my teacher said about it. Because the people who take molecular biology is biotech, biology, doctors, and veterinarians. And he said, you hold lives in your hands, and your solution is to cheat instead of study. That's not just irresponsible, it's disgraceful. So yeah, as I mentioned, doctors and vets were in the class, and I mean, nobody should cheat, but especially them, because yeah, he's right, they hold lives in their hands. we're talking about the impacts and the consequences, let's talk about first the academic consequences, which is that it stays in your academic record forever. When you try to get a job or change university, it will be shown. The next is that it shows that you lack knowledge, not only to others, but also to yourself. It shows that you can't do it, like you don't have the knowledge. And also it is not okay because it can become a habit where you do it every time. And finally, there is a reputational damage done not only to the program, but it can also be to the university and to the career. In my case, the damage was done to the career because it was mainly doctors, so now they have a very bad reputation among their peers and among their teachers. So, yeah. Here are the references that I use, and thank you.